Hello folks, this is Math Machine. This isn't going to be like the rest of my videos. This is a special video because something happened today that has left me, quite honestly, thoroughly pissed. Really quick before I get started, I'm going to be talking about the video game journalist media, and I would just like to address them by saying, yes, I am a white male, but I can assure you my privilege has been thoroughly checked. I made a video about Gamergate about a month ago. At that time, when the Game Journo Pros article was released, I had assumed that what the media would do was just slow down, stop talking so much. There'd be that obvious voice that would continue insulting every now and again, and they would just censor everything to high heaven in hopes that Gamergate would just go away. Turns out I was wrong. Oh, was I? The video game media actually did the exact opposite. They not only went with the insult route, they doubled down on it. I could never have seen this happen. I am normally a patient guy, and it generally takes a lot to actually get me pissed off. I was willing to forgive when a Dell executive referred to the people in Gamergate as, I'm quoting, the technology world's ISIS. I was willing to forgive the MSNBC interview with a developer who, between the host and the developer, they were more than happy to smear gamers as best as they could. I was willing to let that go. I was even willing to let go the fact that a reviewer for Bayonetta 2 gave the game a lower score, not because of any inefficiencies of the game, but because it does things with my pants and I feel uncomfortable. By the way, I'm probably going to be making a video about that now. I was willing to let all that go. And then today happened. There was a debate that happened on the Huffington Post, and what happened was there were 3 individuals that they brought in along with the host himself. Eric Kane, a contributor to Forbes, who is basically their go-to video game guy. Frederick Brennan, the creator and head of 8chan, now referred to as Infinite Chan, affectionately referred to as Hot Wheels by the Anons, the people of Infinite Chan. I'll explain that in a few minutes. And a game developer. I am not going to refer to her by name because she actually does not want to be named. She had a horrible incident happen to her, and I am going to respect her by not naming her or drawing any negative attention towards her. Now, this was a 15-ish minute interview. What happened was, for the first 5 minutes, the host spoke with this game developer, and I use the term game developer rather loosely because this person is more, I think, internet troll is appropriate. She has a very demanding personality. Look at me, pay attention to me! And unfortunately, the host fed the troll. She was asked questions that were basically like, why do you think all gamers are misogynists? Really quick. Misogynist is a word that before Gamergate, I don't think I had ever heard. I had to look it up. Apparently, it means hatred of women. Right now, the video game media and a bunch of game developers, not all the media, not all developers, a good chunk of the media and a handful of developers believe that gamers are women-hating scumbags. I will now bring you back to a regularly scheduled interview. She explained, oh, I had this horrible, terrible, awful thing happen to me. Everyone was so mean to me. I don't understand. I only did this one little thing that was meant to be a joke. I can't help it if the big, bad internet takes it as offensive and then goes and attacks me. I didn't do anything wrong. That went on for about 5 minutes. The next person that the host spoke with was Eric Kane, the Forbes contributor. When asked about this, he said that, well, yeah, there's some misogynists among video game fans. There's also misogynists amongst sports fans. There's misogynists in every single group that you could possibly come up with. It is not specific to video games. This happens everywhere. You could hear this woman laugh and scoff in the background. It was audible. And then finally, they went to Frederick. And Frederick, as I said, is the creator and head of 8chan, now Infinite Chan. What that is, it's a website very much in the vein of 4chan. I'm going to assume most people know what that is. 4chan, Infinite Chan was created in October of 2013. That was one of the main points that he wanted to drive home, because this woman kept saying, "Oh, it was only made for Gamergate. It was made for Gamergate. It only became a thing because of Gamergate." And he had to correct her many, many egregious errors and outright lies. But first, he wanted to point out that the host had, on 2 different occasions at the beginning of that interview, referred to 8chan as hate-chan. To which, of course, the host obviously said, "I didn't say that! You're making that up! I said 8chan! Everyone heard it, you idiot!" I heard it. He heard it. Everyone who was listening to the stream could hear it. It was so obvious that you said it. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You probably slipped and said it. hate instead of ate. They're very close words. Own up to it. Admit it. And then we can move on. But no, this jackass got defensive and decided, I didn't say that. You're just making this up. So the portion where Frederick explained what Infinite Chan was and how it ran went underway, and then this woman decided that she didn't like what Frederick was saying and felt the need to interrupt. That's not how it is! That's not how it should be! They were attacking me! They were mean to me! That pretty much describes the rest of the interview. That host could not kiss her ass hard enough. It was a disgusting thing to watch. Eric Kane just sat there, I'm sure dumbfounded, at how he was almost ignored every time he brought up a valid point that these websites and groups that this woman and this host kept referring to as single entities weren't hive mind single entities, that they are individual people that you cannot blame everyone on a website or in a group for the actions of a single person. But that fell on deaf ears, and she continued to attack Frederick and his site. And finally, the interview wrapped up, and they were all offered their last words, and of course hers were the same. Woe is me, woe is me. Oh, by the way, come watch my show. It's really awesome. It's one of the best shows on the web. I'm not kidding. She actually plugged it 2 different times. And then Frederick, as his last statement, said, 8chan is not all about you. To which she and the host became incredibly offended. The host actually went, whoa, 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 hold on there. You cannot say that about her. He came just short of demanding that Frederick apologize to her. And here is where it just becomes so startling at the difference. This big bad boogeyman of 8chan, he is referred to as Hot Wheels because he's in a wheelchair! He actually has a medical condition, basically brittle bone disease from birth. And he is somehow represented as this big, bad, horrible figure that could terrify women everywhere. Whoa! It was, as I said, a disgusting display. That has had me boiling all day. I've come to the realization that these developers and the game journalists that are doing this right now are hipsters. They're hipster douchebags. There is no way around it. That is what they genuinely are. These are people that do not like video games, or at least like the video games. They don't like the video games that are the norm. They look like hipsters. They sound like hipsters. They dress like hipsters. They act like hipsters. They hate anything that's popular. They want to bring in this fresh new thing that they are the heralds of. They're fucking hipsters! They're not SJWs, social justice warriors, which, by the way, that's not a pejorative. That's not an insult. That is something that these people actually hold up as a banner. Google it if you don't believe me. Google SJW. See how many websites have that? How many clothes have that? How many people's users' name have that? These are hipsters through and through. They are not SJWs. They are not progressives. They are hipsters. And these hipsters are out of control. They're hiding under the guise of trying to help and innovate so that they can do what hipsters do, which is insult anything that is considered old, destroy it, and bring in their own thing. Oh, and let's not forget, act like complete and total douches. I will be spreading this as far as I can. Congratulations, Huffington Post. You have done what nothing else has ever made me do. You have made me go to social media and spread my voice. This is going to go on for a very long time. I can see it coming. And the unfortunate thing is, this is an election year. Thank you, video game media and video game developers. You have brought forth mainstream media upon us, and they are oh so happy to give gamers a spanking whenever they can. If there's one thing mainstream media loves to do and can come together for, it's giving gamers what for. And it's an election year. 3 weeks from today is election day. You can be goddamn sure this is going to be everywhere. If your goal was to set gaming culture back about 10 or 15 years, congratulations, you've succeeded. I am thoroughly pissed. I am upset. I am not very happy right now, and I used to be a very calm individual about this. I would just talk about it and try to absorb all the knowledge I could about it. No more. I am going to do everything I can to spread this message around and make sure that everyone that I can reach will know what is going on. Congratulations, Huffington. You've pissed me off so much, you've got me to do shit! And that's pretty impressive! And one final note. These hipsters have this mentality that they are the ones that are defending all the defenseless women and defenseless minors and defenseless people with disabilities. Like people with autism, for example, they feel they're the true defenders of people with autism. I have Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of autism. So, without speaking for anyone else, I'm speaking as my own self. As an autistic gamer, I am not